Are you struggling to conceive? You have options, and at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group, we'll make sure you have the guidance and support you need. PREG is known for individualized fertility care that's unique to every patient. We take the time to provide a reassuring and empowering experience because we believe that you deserve nothing less. Let us help you on your journey to parenthood. Visit us at pregonline.com to learn more. Get the guidance and support you need at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's get started.
I have thought a lot in the last 24 hours.
Time to get your weekly sports fix.
By the skin of their teeth, they lost.
Then you can just ride it the whole thing.
With Stix.
Hey, all right, knock on wood. Let's see how long this connection lasts.
Man, I'm gonna hope for the best this time because that threw my. Hey, look, you know the world and how cyber everything is right now. Technical difficulties are like becoming interwoven in what we do nowadays. So it's like you have to kind of have patience with them because there's nothing you could do.
Yeah,
but, man, it threw my vibe off, man. I'm sorry to the people, man. We're gonna hit y'all with something right today, though.
Yeah, I think today, so far so good. Knock on wood, and like I said, and we're gonna get popping and rolling. We might have to. We got a lot of stuff to go over for all of you that didn't get to haven't listened to the AFC preview yesterday. Was just posted today on what's today, Thursday. So the AFC preview is posted. Yes, posted up for y'all. Now we're gonna go into episode 168. Which is the NFC preview. And yesterday we went through a little bit. I was a little rough on the edges. Voice was a little.
We might as well take it from the top, to be honest.
Out of there, yeah. So but hey, we chopped it up a little bit with that going on, and then now we're back and gonna finish this up. We got a lot to do this week, homie. Working overtime, I think. We got the preview show. We still have Thursday night football to bounce out real quick. And then we got week 1 to go over. And we also have a Monday night football and a little teaser for everybody. We might have a little special guest from the homie Insider Investigation team on the front lines in Colorado. So,
inside scoop.
We'll see.
Inside scoop. Yeah, inside scoop. You have to have it. You have to have boots on the ground. You have to have man on the street information. Who does the first microphone go to when the shit goes down? The man on the street. I was there. I saw it. So we find him. That's what it is. The homie.
Little networking skills. We get it going. Yeah, homie. So hey, should we just take it from the top and get it fired up and roll? Let's go. If you ready, you ready. You down.
This is the NFC, and we're speaking up on this. And this is, like I said, in the burnt out version, but this is our home conference right here because both of our fandoms lie right here. Actually, is going to be in one of these divisions, and y'all both know how it is with the Seahawks and the Rams, and we'll get into that as it goes down and we get into this. But the NFC is going to be live, and like we talked about, which I'm going to say again, is that the schedule tilts towards the NFC this year to where, because it's 17 weeks, the way that they worked out the schedule is that somebody has to have an extra home game. And during the schedule making, they gave one conference one extra home game. So the NFC naturally has a little bit of an edge, but as we're going to find out with strength of schedule, it's gonna be tough out here watching some games. So y'all gonna have to be real sharp this year when you guys are looking at these lines to try to find these right numbers, man. I wish we had more outs. I mean, we keep hearing from Washington gambling board saying that wasn't part of the process and the agreement, and we upset about it. We just wish, man, we had more outs, bro.
Man, and for all of you that don't follow me on Twitter, you need to follow me at Stix015. I've been hounding the Washington State Gambling Commission, and they finally fired back and said, "Hey, it ain't our problem, boss. You need to go hit those legislature playboys up, man."
Yeah, we just write the agreement.
That's right. They just follow the rules. They just make sure the rules are being followed. So, I'm still working on some insiders. So anybody has any insider tips to help out the homie investigation team there, we can let me know via Twitter or text or whatever. I know who to get at, so we can get these gambling apps legalized. It would be Washington.
Great to have a use of a FanDuel or a DraftKings or something like this. I mean, that's all we're saying. We're not saying BetGM, MGM, or all of this. Just give us one of the little daily fantasy joints. Approve one of them.
Right, just get something popping off. Well, I know that the casinos have their own little apps and stuff like that. And then I know our boy in Curtis in Clearwater Casino over there in the Peninsula area has FanDuel in their sports book. So what the hell are they waiting for?
Then we've talked about it before, that they've got the app geofence, that you have to be in a certain perimeter of the property in order to use the app, which completely makes no sense, because your phone basically just becomes another kiosk. So you just don't have to walk over to the kiosk or whatever. So that's all it is.
Plus, when I was just up at Northern Quest, also, like, there's no player props, there's nothing. It's all just basic game stuff. I mean, you could, bet with your friends on that. I mean, come on, let's get some fun going. Let's get the daily fantasy stuff going. Let's get the player props going. The heads to heads always good, but let's go. We got money to make around here. Both of us know job working asses. We need something to do, man.
For real.
Something to get a little profit dollars rolling, so we can give some better content or better some good content for you.
Anonymous homie the tool man.
Homie the tool man, adding to his repertoire. All right, brother. Well, let's go. Let's get it fired up. You want to pop it off like you did yesterday?
Well, let's go. We're gonna hit them up, and we're gonna take them. I like your order, so we're gonna do it just like that. But we're gonna keep it the same way as we broke down the AFC conference. We're gonna do exactly the same thing. So this year, the hashtag Stix and Sports 2022 NFL NFC preview is gonna go down like this. Same thing. What we do last year. What did they do last year? So two things. What did these teams do last year? What did me and this dude Stix do last year in terms of how we prognosticated the year out? We're going to talk about every single conference. We're going to break them down for you guys into bite-sized chunks, so you guys can figure all of that out, conceive this information in small packages. We're going to force pick one over and one under. It didn't seem like it was really that forced in the AFC. It seemed like we just was like, well, here we go. We got an over, we got an under. So we're going to do that, talk about all of the schedule, the big stuff that's on the schedule in terms of games, matchups. Like I said, we're going to leave week one alone. But if there's some other matchups heading out into the year, we'll pick those up. So diving right in, man, you picked the team, but we head into the NFC East. Some say it's the NFC least, but I think they on the come up. What you say?
NFC East, we talked a little bit before yesterday. We kind of got a briefing of this, but we had a technical difficulty, so we have to start all over. And I know you went on a rant about the old Commanders, and we talked and I wanted to reference too. Dang, I should have found that drop I was talking about yesterday with their new fight song. I know we had plenty of time, and it went off the brain there a little bit, but we have the Commanders, we have the Giants, we have the Eagles, and the lonely Cowboys. But last year, our division, or our picks for the over under,
what did we say?
For the NFC East, we had Dallas last year. The over under was 9. I picked the under. They finished with 12, and homie went with the over because he was on the Dallas Cowboys last year. He told you all. And then Philly was over under last year with 6.5 wins. They finished at 9. I took the under. I don't heard them there. Washington, we both had at 8.5. We had the over 8.5. They finished at 7. And we both called the New York Giants finishing at exactly 4 wins last year. Their over under was 7. Or wait, no, we lied. We said they'd finish at 7. Or I lied, finished at 7, but they ended up with 4. So that's how it rolled out last year. You could hear all the AFC picks from yesterday or from the previous pod. If you want an AFC, we fared a little better on that one to start off the AFC. But the NFC East this year, just a quick reference for y'all. This year, Dallas is a 10.5, has a 10.5 over under for the wins. Philly is at 9.5, and Washington and New York Giants are 7.5. So, that's how we fared last year. So the teams, I think we talked as we were talking through these teams, we talked about key additions and pickups and losses through these teams. And I think when we started with the Commanders, I don't know why Heineke isn't their starting quarterback. First of all, I know they pick up Wentz. They bring Wentz over from a terrible Colts performance that he had with the Colts last year. Your horseshoe, homie, choked. Your second team.
Choked, completely choked.
So, now that's who they got. And then they got the wide receiver from Dotson from Penn State as their number 1 round, their first round draft pick.
He's supposed to be live.
And then we were talking, did we ever find out if Gibson is injured and missing the first week or first game or?
I'll pull it up.
So then you got Gibson as their RB1. You got Brian Robinson, who got shot in the buttocks, recovering from injury. He's out 4 weeks. And then you got JD McKissick. I don't think JD McKissick, I like JD McKissick all around, back, but he's not your everyday running back to help out Carson Wentz, in my opinion. We talk a little bit about the Giants, and I don't think they really did anything. They got the defensive end from Oregon as their number 1 round, their first round pick.
What you mean? Saquon is healthy. That's what they got. They added Saquon.
They added Saquon from last year, one of those running backs that, stays healthy, that could help him out a little bit, but is Daniel Jones still the answer? You got Tyrod Taylor there. So, maybe you see a little Tyrod action, not getting a needle in his chest this year.
Well, we'll see. They have the shake and bake guys in New York. Let me start. I'll park the car right there and jump out. I like New York a little bit this year to overperform. I think that they're going to exceed expectations because I think that Daniel Jones, he got injured last year. Once he got injured, it was over last year. So there wasn't really anything left to do and really analyze about this team from last year. But we ended up finding out that Kadarius Toney is a player. So now you got a guy with some shakes.
A player that had 0 touchdowns all year.
Well, I know there's a lot of stuff that happened, but they got some guys out of there. So they got who did they get out of there that I'm thinking of at the top of my head? One of the wide receivers. Oh, the tight end, Evan Ingram. They got him out of there. Kyle Rudolph, who was just there for a piece of a year last year, he's up out of there this year. So you talked about bringing Tyrod Taylor in. So that means that you wanted a veteran quarterback there in case Danny D don't do what you expect him to do. And I think that he's going to be all right, man. I think they got some guys out there because in this division, man, I think that's my if I think about it, it was real hard for me to not have them as one of my favorites, but I picked Giants to be up this year. The number was 7.5. I think they got 2 games in them. I think they're a solid 9, man. I think that they're a 9-win team this year because the Cowboys are going to drop some games, and we'll get into why in a minute. I just think that they're going to drop some games this year, and there's going to be some games to be picked up based on the schedule. So when we talked about the schedule again, so this year, this division as a whole is playing the AFC South. So there's some games to be had. You got Jacksonville, you got Houston in there. You got NFC North. There's some games to be had in this division from the way your schedule is made up. Okay. Plus, you get your one extra home game over anybody else, blah, blah, blah. But that is what it is. Okay. So I think that they can come up. I think they're my first over, man. Yeah. What did you agree? You agree with my over the 7.5?
Absolutely not. No, I don't think they get.
You ain't feeling it, man.
They get 4 games better just by a new head coach and then Saquon healthy. I mean, yeah, does it help them out? I don't even think the division schedule that the NFC North and the AFC South, because once we get into the North, I'll tell you why.
Look what this dude did with Josh. Come on, look what he did with Josh in Buffalo, man. Come on.
Right. Well, Josh Allen is far ahead of Daniel Jones, my friend.
He didn't look like it his rookie year though.
So we will see. But yeah, I would not touch the 7.5. If I had to be hand behind my back, I'd say under. They may get a couple more wins out of it. They may get to 6, but I don't think they get to 8. So
see, I know where you're leaning then. See, you must be where on the same car that I got out of. I am off of the Cowboys, and that's where the wins are going to come from. They're giving Dallas Cowboys 10.5. If they get a good 9, I will be surprised this year, and I'm going to tell you why. So that's going to leave 3 more wins. Commanders are going to be up, the Giants are going to be up, and the Eagles are going to be up because of the schedule makeup and the ones that the Cowboys are going to drop in division to these cats right here. Even in play, I'm telling you, who is Dak Prescott going to be feeding the ball to outside of CeeDee Lamb? You tell me that. Where is their acquisitions to make up for the losses of Amari Cooper? Okay. And I mean, they got some injury concerns out there with Cedric Wilson and some of the no-name guys that they have on the outside. But you expecting Ezekiel Elliott to come out here and be a tank top, bare midriff, Ohio State Ezekiel Elliott? It's not going to happen, man.
Yeah, from what, 3 years ago?
It's not going to happen.
He hasn't been that way in 2 years. So, yeah, I agree with you. I would take the under 10.5 with Dallas, hands down, on that.
Well, who the hell is getting all these wins then?
The team that I would take would be Philadelphia. Finished at 9 last year. They got the acquisition of
you're saying they're +3
of AJ Brown, and I mean they finished at 9, and now they're only at 9.5. I think they got at least another game win in them, 10-7. So
okay,
I'll take the over on Philadelphia. Another with Nick Sirianni being there for 1 more year.
Easy.
He had some wild and crazy press conferences last year, growing flowers or whatever the hell he was talking about.
Yeah,
but he seems like he's got his got the team on board. So we'll see. Yeah. I'm not sure how their defense was last year. I'd have to look that up, but
they were good.
I think their offense is going to be just fine.
Yeah.
And like you said yesterday, I think on the cut broadcast, a technical difficulty broadcast.
Give it to them again.
That they've been able to run the ball
on everybody
for years, right? They've been able to run the ball in Philly, and
no matter
they still have the same 3-headed monster from last year. They got Miles Sanders still.
Yes,
they got Kenneth Gainwell, and then the all-American Boston Scott. So
always. He ain't never
he's always good for a good 2-3 touchdown game sometime throughout the year. So,
yes, sir.
When then you add the weapons of AJ Brown, and you still have Devonta Smith out there with another year under their belt to work with Jalen Hurts. So, could be interesting up there. But yeah, that's where I think, those wins from Dallas come trickle down a little bit. So yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're thinking that this might be a down division then, because that means you just have the division winner as a 10-win team, which is the same thing that I have. I almost think that Philly might be a +2. They might be an 11-win team because of what we're talking about. Look at
the AFC South and the NFC North.
Because look at what Jalen Hurts was able to do and limp a team to trying to get to the playoffs with dudes who couldn't catch.
Right.
All dudes that they got rid of. Ain't no Arcega Whiteside, ain't no Rager, ain't no Aguilar. They got rid of everybody couldn't catch, brought in Devonta Smith. And here we go with AJ coming in, trying to help out AJ Brown. So look, it's going to be some action there because all you're doing is building a situation together. AJ looks like he wants to be there. The defense is stout. I think they're primed to be a good performer this year in the mix. So they just did what they needed to do. The biggest questions that I have right now from these guys is, and we could wrap it up with these questions, is Thibodeau, young rookie from the Giants. How long is he going to be hurt? For? Because you're going to have to get after Jalen Hurts in this division. You're going to have to get after Dak Prescott in this division. Okay. You're going to have to get after some guys. So that's a big problem. And conversely, what's up with Chase Young? Same thing. My man his teammate, he's back on. These is all well-known PUP homies. Okay. They are not anonymous. Their names are out there in this division. Miles Sanders, Tyron Smith, tackle. So the offensive line for the Great Wall of Dallas is not the Great Wall of Dallas right now. And then you got the pass chasers, Chase Young and Thibodeau both hurt for the Giants and then the Redskins. And then hopefully my man, you know what I'm saying, he got shot in the ass. I don't know if he really got shot in the ass, but it's fun to say that he got shot in the ass. Plexico Burr style. I like to imagine it's a whole club scene with Drake and guns being pulled, and he tried to pull out and he shot his own self in the ass. But anyway, that probably is not how it went down because I saw the reports. It is not how it went down. But anyway, he was making big moves in training camp. So that's going to be a problem for them. You know how gunshot victims come back and perform. You never can tell how that turns out. So the NFC East, man, my force over was Philadelphia. Because I think we both in agreement with that, because I think that they could even get to the 11. And I think if you were to bet on the 11, that they would go over or over 10.5, they would hit the 11. Is down to minus 135. My force under is Dallas. Like I said, you can get positive money on that right now. I just looked at that. If they don't do double digits, man, or if they're a 10-win team, plus 125, man.
So any 10.5, 10 is plus 125. Yeah.
10.5 under is 125. Man.
Yeah, I'm not a believer. I wasn't a believer last year, and look what happened. But we'll see what happens this year in the NFC East. We'll see.
I'm off the train.
How it breaks down. You're off the train.
Yeah, I'm off the train, man.
Not building them up this year.
No.
Can't say I blame you. Sweet. So so you had the over Philly, just like I did, 9.5, and then the under Dallas 10.5. Yeah, we're both in agreement on that one. So let's hit the NFC North. I like this one, and I hope I don't give away my secrets for the my secrets in this, as well as I'll try not to. Little teaser for the end of the show here when we pick our plays. I do like the NFC North. So we had the Green Bay, where we have the Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings, Chicago Bears, and everyone's America's favorite team, the Detroit Lions. Hard Knocks was legit, G. I know you caught up on all those, didn't you?
Ace kneecap biter now.
He is on one. He's a good dude. Dan Campbell's a good dude.
He's a coach.
Let's see what we had last year. Oh, by the way, I think every team needs to have a cut down video of The Office when players are being cut, and how the players react, and how the coaches, or the coach and the owner, whoever's in the office that's cutting these players. I think every team needs to have a clip of that, or their own little seg in there, to see how these players react and how professional a lot of them are, because every time I seen
Are you struggling to conceive? You have options, and at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group, we'll make sure you have the guidance and support you need. Preg is known for individualized fertility care that's unique to every patient. We take the time to provide a reassuring and empowering experience because we believe that you deserve nothing less. Let us help you on your journey to parenthood. Visit us at pregonline.com to learn more. Get the guidance and support you need at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, oh, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
On the Hard Knocks episode with Detroit, these players were respectable and they were excited, even though they were getting cut. So it seemed to be pretty cool little idea that the NFL, I'm sure that's part of the reason why they do Hard Knocks. But anyways, let's get into the North. So we had Green Bay over under last year was 10. We both picked the over. They finished at 13. Minnesota was at 9. They finished at 8. I picked the under. You picked even to be at 9. Chicago, we stayed away from. Their over under was 7.5. They were at 6, and then Detroit was 4.5 last year, and we both picked the under, and they finished at 3 last year. So we were pretty solid on that one. Picked the 2, but this year could be a different story. You know, Aaron Rodgers comes back, always the NFC North division. What does he say? He owns the NFC North. Owns the NFC North. His confidence is not lacking there. But are there any key acquisitions or losses from any of these teams that you see that could, jump up? I know Packers, they lose Devontae Adams and Marquez Values Scantling, also Equanimous St. Brown. They lost the linebackers, the Darius Smith. They put in place Sammy Watkins, and then they got Jaron Reed from the Chiefs, I believe, the defensive line there. Didn't get Aaron Rodgers a receiver. But it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you can't really, still have Lazard.
Is he really though?
I think so. He went on his, ayahuasca? Got his ayahuasca cleaning again.
He better be high as hell, seeing all kind of receivers out there.
If I remember correctly or heard correctly, he did the same thing a few years ago, and look what happened after he did that. He won 2 consecutive MVPs. So just getting it back in the fresh, getting the fully loaded attention and mind right back in for Aaron Rodgers. But I think we talked a lot about him last year. You still have Matt LaFleur at the helm, leading them, and they seem to be getting along. Was it Nathaniel Hackett? Was that the offensive coordinator that they lost? Bye. We'll see how that goes. But
oh, come on, man. You can't be doing this, dude. Look, he's always had nobody to throw to. Okay. Always. But he always had Devontae Adams, reliable. And then he'd fill in with these other guys and hope that they would catch the ball. Now, all of those other guys are gone, bro. All of them. And Devontae Adams. Okay, so now you're left with Randall Cobb and Lazard and some dudes you never heard of. And he's already complaining on the record with a camera in his face. These dudes ain't catching. So that's going to be a big problem. They're leaving major wins on the table this year. I see it. We know what happened to them last year. They won the division, clear cut. Minnesota fell off due to injuries and then underperformed after that. Detroit was out here doing exactly what they said they were doing, being scrappy. They had the one tie this year. What is more scrappy than being the one team that tied somebody? Okay, so they're out here on the come up. And then the biggest problem, the biggest exodus out of this division came in Chicago. So nobody's expecting for Justin Fields to do anything. Okay. Everybody left in this division with a name, basically left Chicago. Okay. Allen Robinson, gone. Khalil Mack, gone. Akeem Hicks, gone. The whole defense is gone. Deion Bush, gone. Everybody gone. Okay. Anybody with a name in this whole division, aside of Aaron Rodgers, is gone from this division. Okay. So that's going to open the door up. It's going to leave this dude, Justin Fields, out in the water. It's going to be a cold game to watch him. Hopefully he can just learn something and then maybe get out of there with his life. Because I don't think that they're defending the dude. We've watched that they are not defending the dude. He's been taking hard hits, and that's been from preseason of last year and on the record to big, huge hits in the regular season last year. I just hope he don't get killed out there, man. But the Vikings, man, that is the team that with the least amount of losses, they got rid of the people they didn't want, they didn't need, and brought in a couple guys, and they're just going to try to be healthy this year and chase down Aaron Rodgers and catch him while he's weak, man.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I mean, I think Green Bay, I say that they still reign supreme in the NFC North, but I don't think they get to 13 again. I think they're going to drop off. I mean, 10.5. They might get 11 there in Green Bay. Minnesota's going to be interesting to see. They got the new head coach, Kevin O'Connell. I don't even know where the hell he came from. But they got a new head coach there. But I mean,
Rams,
Kirk Cousins,
OC, boy, have some respect. That's what I'm saying. This is going to be the squad, man.
Is Kirk Cousins, going to be the answer? Is it his time to shine and make the Vikings a potential playoff team with Dalvin Cook, and then Justin Jefferson? But after Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook, who do you have? I mean, Adam Thielen.
Thielen. That's all you need. You just need all of them there, bro. And look, at the schedule makeup has dealt you the hand of both East Side teams. You get the AFC East and the NFC East. Soft package, okay? So all you really need to do is have Kirk Cousins there, looking remotely hungry, ready to throw passes to these dudes, and you're going to be good to go. Because the biggest thing that they have in their pocket is they're going to play a couple teams, I'm saying, that ain't even only won less than 4 games last year. So if you look at, check this out, follow me now, the Minnesota Vikings, strength of schedule, number 20. Green Bay Packers, strength of schedule, number 22. You believe that?
Both of them?
With both of them having to, now this is based on last year's schedule, but I'm saying both of them playing their division and 2 other divisions that have 2 soft teams in there. Minnesota's going to be able to get there. So for that reason, okay, I am not out like Shark Tank. For those reasons, this is going to end up as a tie. 11 wins, Green Bay, 11 wins, Minnesota. You have to wait to see who I pick on the division.
11 wins, 11 wins.
So that's an over. I think that's an over on both of them. But the smarter bet clearly would be on Minnesota, because you'd have the 10th game in there to secure. You got an extra point if you wanted to play that. And I looked, if you did play that as of yesterday, when I looked, if you played the over Minnesota 9.5, it's even money. Plus 100.
I mean, I still think, like I said, I agree with the Green Bay at 11. I'm not sold on Minnesota yet, so I'm just going to leave that one alone. But my force pick is Chicago under 6.5. They finished at 6 last year. I don't know how. And then I'm taking Detroit and the over 6.5 for the force over pick, just because I think they're doing the right things there from what I've seen. I got sucked into the Hard Knocks and the believing and the hype and
Hard
all that.
Knocks will make you feel like they got a good 7 wins.
Yeah. So I'm in there, and I do like, they're they got your boy Goof still, and a little
That's
shout
right.
out to the week 1 preview that we're gonna have to do, but I believe Jared Goof is 5-0-1 against the spread on opening week 1. So
not good one. And see, peep out this tidbit for the Lions in their favor. After week 10, they play 7 games in 8 weeks against teams that didn't make the playoffs last year. So therefore,
after week 10.
Yep. Therefore, Detroit Lions strength of schedule number 28.
Ooh.
Softest schedule. So for the
There we
record,
go.
since I didn't mention it last division, every team in last division, I forgot to mention, that was one of my notes. Every team in the last division has the weakest schedule. Remember, I talked about how their schedule makeup is and who their competition is. Giants, Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, bottom 4, strength of schedule, softest schedule.
Giants, Eagles,
Cowboys,
Commanders.
So, and then you have the Lions outside looking in. So that's going to be nice for them. The thing about Green Bay that I saw, I'm going to point this out, then we can look at questions if you had any about these divisions. But look at Green Bay's situation. Look, okay. After they go to London in week 5, okay, they're going to fly home, and then they have their home game. Okay, we're against the Jets.
Yeah.
And then they go on a 3-game road trip after that. No bye week after going to London. When you go overseas, 9 times out of 10, bye weeks don't start till week 7.
Yeah, they don't get theirs till week 14.
That's right. So traditional or as tradition, Jacksonville, when they go to Wembley, this kind of thing, wherever they go, whichever stadium they use, they get that bye week next. Atlanta, when they go over there, they get that bye week next. Chargers, blah, blah, blah. They ain't getting that bye week, man. So that was one of the things I saw in the schedule that might be, the schedules, they got some soft stuff at the beginning, because basically if they're not going to be home at the end of the season or during that time, where are these home games going to be? They're at the front of the season. So the first 3 out of 4 in the front of the season is at home. So they can get off to a quick start, but look at who those are against. So those are little tidbits, man. And I think the only questions I have is Lazard your wide receiver number 1? Is he going to get fed like a wide receiver number 1 for Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I'm still looking to. I mean, well, obviously, yeah, I think he's going to have to be, but remember that Cobb was still the go-to, and Aaron Rodgers got Cobb from Houston last year for himself. However, he hasn't seen the field, and he was hurt the whole time. So is Cobb healthy? That's kind of one of those things, I want to know what's going on with him, because that could help you out too a little bit.
What's my man's name? That's the tight end that I always forget that he made famous.
Oh,
their new tight end that he made famous recently. Damn it, I always forget his name. Tanyan,
yeah.
So you still got hands out there. You got targets out there. It's just
Lazard and DeGrua, or whatever his name is too.
You have to treat Lazard and target him like a number 1. Like he should have been like fantasy number 1 of, if you had, Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay, you're going to try to target him in the fantasy draft, because you're thinking he's going to get these targets. So it's got to happen, because that's just the way that they play. And then you got the Rams transplant, Kevin McConnell. We talked about that new HC. He gets a shot at Cousins. If he can flip that script and get the goof out of him like he did with Goof, maybe we can make something happen there. And does Roquan Smith cause up some shit, and he tried to leave Chicago too, because he wants out too. So everybody wants out.
Forgot. Yeah, I think he finally. I don't know if he signed. Did he sign?
No, he's good for contract, because he's
just trying to get out.
Yeah, he just wants out, and he just didn't want to practice. He was showing up to practice. That new thing they were doing, showing up to practice but not practicing.
Right.
So he couldn't get fined. So. But anyway, yeah, that's those guys, man. You got anything else on them? You want to hit on them?
No, I think so. Let's roll to the NFC South. We'll get to the NFC South here. All right, what we got going on? NFC South, the good old NFC South. I like this one. I like this one a lot. Kind of like just like I like the NFC North. I like the NFC North and the NFC South.
Some good stories in here.
We got South, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Atlanta, and Carolina. So this is how we fared last year, big homie. Okay. TB was over under was 12. They finished at 13. We both picked the over. New Orleans, over under was 9. They finished at 9. We both picked them to finish at 9. And that was without my boy Jameis Winston, by the way. Little tidbit for y'all.
Yeah, I'm crying.
And then Atlanta was 7.5 over under, and we both picked the under on that one. And then let's see, they finished at 7, and then Carolina was 7.5 over under. They finished at 5. We both picked the over. That was before we knew that Christian McCaffrey would never play another football down his entire life or whatever. After coming off an injury,
it's me, Christian McCaffrey, and Kawhi Leonard, bro. We don't have to play. We just under contract. That's 2 years straight. 2 years straight. Where have we been?
And I still don't understand how people are still buying into him on fantasy drafts and putting in there like he would be the farthest from a pick that I'd even want on my roster. I mean, I would take a third string running back over Christian McCaffrey at this point.
I was hoping I didn't have a 4 in a fantasy and had him sitting there with after Cooper Kupp was picked. Oh man, I was hoping I wasn't forced to pick that dude, man. I'm off, man. I've been burnt twice, 2 years in a row. I'm off. CMC.
I mean, yeah,
Baker Mayfield or not. I mean, because hey, it's NFL season. Now we can start bringing out the hype words. Baker Mayfield is coming correct, especially in week 1 with juice, baby. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing the juice. So everybody's going to be lathered up this week. But what happens after that? Because CMC has a good game first week. He has a good game in fantasy week 2.
And then he'll be on the IR for the rest of the year. Yeah. So, he'll see what happens there. So speaking of the Panthers, you got the additions of Baker there, right? Obviously, everybody knows that Baker's there. Yeah. Take
out Rashard Higgins over there. My guy Justin Corbett, you got him to O-line for you. Came from the Rams transplant. So Xavier Woods, I mean, you got a couple guys to come over there and play, and they lost Stephon Gilmore. I thought he was going to stick around with those guys and play and be on the squad. And I looked up, and he wasn't on the squad this year. But other than that, they're rocking with the same team that they expected to do okay with Sam Darnold last year. Because you still got Robbie there catching passes, and he still catches crazy, okay? And he's been doing it. And then you got DJ is still there. DJ Moore still your number 1. So then you bring that together, and let's see if Baker Mayfield is lathered up. I already said that I didn't think that he was going to win the job from Darnold at the beginning of the season, but that was the beginning of the season, because once preseason started, it was clear that that's what was going on. So, and they brought in DJ Chark too on the Panthers too, that I saw.
Nice.
During the fantasy draft. So that's one more set of hands, man, that he could throw to. So the Panthers are looking up, man. They got a light number. They got a light number this year, 6.5. But let's look at their schedule since we started with them. The NFC South is playing this year the AFC North. So that's why we have the revenge game for Baker Mayfield week 1. Okay, because you're getting Cincinnati and you're getting Cleveland and those guys, and you're getting our boys, the NFC West, which is going to make it real hard on the yard for the teams in the NFC South, which puts Tampa Bay number 4 strength of schedule. It's hard out here. New Orleans Saints strength of schedule number 7. It's hard out here. Atlanta Falcons. Ooh, I feel sorry for y'all because it's hard out here. They number 9. Okay, in strength of schedule. So it is hard out here for these teams. Where's that last team that I'm missing? Where's Carolina? Oh, there they go. How did I miss them? Carolina Panthers, number 12. So they got a hard schedule. These 2 teams, Carolina and Atlanta. I'm sorry, I don't know why I couldn't get that out. That are 2 projects with 2 new quarterbacks are thrown into top 15 hardest schedules, top 12 hardest schedules in the league this
year. Yikes. This puts a damper on my my playoff scenarios I got going on in my head right
because
now.
And for those reasons is the reason why you would look at a nice juicy 6.5 from Carolina and go, that is primed up perfect stick style right there. To say he's running up to the counter with over money. He run like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, where your legs run in place first and then you jet off. That's exactly what he's doing with over money to the counter. For those reasons, For those reasons, I have Carolina under, and they are a 6-win team.
Ooh, I can't wait till the final discussion on the NFC.
You believe
you're gonna love me under 6.5.
I'm telling you, man.
Well, I mean, you're right, 100% right. 5 wins last year with Darnold and no McCaffrey. I'm going the over 6.5 with Baker.
He's good for one more win.
He's good for a few more wins. I'll just leave it at that.
No, he's good for this one revenge win right here, and that's and the rest of them to make it 6, and then they'll be good.
I don't know if we have much to talk about with the Atlanta Falcons. It's kind of scary, they lost Matt Ryan.
Mariota.
But they do have Mariota, and we saw what Mariota could do when he's given the chance when he was in Las Vegas. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, but I just don't think he has a whole lot around him.
Dennis Allen. Ridley, he got a year-long suspension, so he ain't rolling through there.
What's
your boy Calvin Ridley, he's gonna be doing parlays. He's not coming. He's not rolling through the locker room.
Yeah, that's rough, man. They still have him out. I don't like that at all.
You lost Russell Gage in division to Tom Brady because Tom Brady was losing bodies left and right. So he goes up there. You lose Hayden Hurst, who was the one tight end that you had that could catch some passes. But you got Kyle Pitts, so he can do just about everything for you. And
that USC wide receiver Drake London's supposed to be the next hit, right?
He's gonna be your fill and spill guy, and hope that you got your next Roddy White into Julio Jones into what was supposed to be Calvin Ridley, but maybe it'll be Drake London will be your next rollover guy out there, and then they can put the rest of the bodies that they had out there to go with them. And hope that they have some. Cordero Patterson is still out there, Swiss Army and knifing everybody.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, they might surprise some people. 4.5 over under on that, but
shit.
But
they ain't surprising slick shit, bro. They're top 10 strength of schedule. They're not surprising shit, G.
Yeah, well, I'm not. They had 7 last year, 4.5 this year is kind of a slap in the face to them. So with the strength of schedule, that must be what they're rolling with.
Go ahead and say over again.
Oh no, I'm staying away from that one. I ain't know nothing. I ain't know nothing about no Arthur Smith besides his dad started FedEx. So
I didn't even know that.
He's doing it for the love of the game to coach. I'll tell you that right
now. I didn't even know that. Let's get into these dudes that matter, man.
So
that's an under. That's all day under.
We got you already picked your hard U. You want me to throw a U on there for that one too?
No. Because my two haven't come up yet. I just think that Carolina is under. That's not my like though. That's not my heavy like. I just think that they're under team. They're a good 6 because of their strength of schedule. And the Atlanta Falcons are going to be a good 4. Okay, that's just what it's going to be. And then you've got 2 other teams in here with, let's go, Tampa Bay, 11.5 scheduled per Vegas. And then what are we talking about with New Orleans? They're getting a light 8.5, which we expect for them to overachieve, right? How much though?
Who?
How much though? New Orleans.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody's on the wagon. Tell me you can't say this is the one year you're not on the wagon.
Oh, no, I'm on it, especially with the healthy Jameis.
Young crap.
5,500 yards passing.
Come on.
And he's talking. You should have heard did you hear him yesterday? He's talking about knees, elbows, heads, and toes, and shoulders, and hips, and all that, man. He's locked in. He's in prime Jameis mode right now.
Yes,
he's ready to go.
Got
and if he's healthy, full effect. Michael Thomas has been waiting all year to play, a whole year to play with
Michael
Jameis.
Thomas is walking in that locker room.
Michael Thomas is there. You got the number 1 pick, Chris Olave.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
There as well.
Michael Thomas is what happens after Kawhi Leonard and who did we just say? CMC. After 2 years of being gone, you finally get your Michael Thomas, except for now he's 26 or something like that. When you thought you had a young one,
a young Michael Thomas,
you know what I'm
right?
saying? But it's all good. I just looked it up and I was like, damn, he's still young though. It's all good.
He's been still gone that. I didn't know. I thought he was at least like
Josh
30.
Gordon. Same thing with Josh Gordon. I didn't know Josh Gordon was still in kind of the edge of the prime. Like he could give you some numbers. I didn't know he was that young still. So, but yeah, man. So when we're talking about those guys, they just added, man. Health again is a concern because they got everybody. They get Jameis back. Speaking of young Crab, his leg is now back in effect. We talked about highly documented eye surgery, and that's why the success was popping off in the first half of the season last year.
Before he tore his ACL.
Before you sliced it up, and then, you know what I'm saying, the world-renowned crutch dance in the locker room, it was going down. It looked like the club in there. I thought it was Mardi Gras. I want to be a part of it. Guess who else wanted to be a part of it? The Honey Badger wanted to come home and be a part of it. Jarvis Landry wanted to come back home, okay, to Louisiana to be a part of it. Okay, they drafted Chris Olave. Shoot, Andy Dalton says, shoot, there's something going down there. I'll go hold the clipboard for y'all real quick. I ain't even tripping. Let's go. Let's
Red
go.
Rifle in full effect.
Hopefully we don't have no major incidents with hurricane season and this kind of thing coming up. But that is where you go to pick your games up because they're given, like I mentioned before, a soft 8.5. Now, let's look at strength of schedule. I'm scrolling, bro. Number 7, New Orleans. So that again, that strength of schedule is what's hitting this division.
Number 7, you said, huh?
Number 7, Tampa Bay. Now I can go ahead and reveal that they are in the number 4 position of toughest schedule. Okay, which is the reason, as we could segue and then we could circle back. Tampa Bay is getting an 11.5, and I just don't see it. I'll give them double digits. I'll make them a solid 10, but they don't have those other 2 in them. I don't see it. I don't know where it's coming from because if you look at what we had down in terms of what they brought in, they ain't brought in a damn thing, okay? Except for, well, I talked about Russell Gage. You brought a bunch of clones. You brought a clone of Gronk. You brought a Russell Gage, and then you brought in Julio Jones. And you hope that those dudes Brady can do his thing and just have open bodies to throw the ball to out there. He can do it because Godwin's going to be available week 1. Evans is going to be available week 1. And then if Fournette plays his way into shape, that young running back that they have out there, if he don't play his way into shape, the young running back will end up being famous.
Rashad White and Keyshawn Vaughn. Yep. I think this is the down year for Tampa Bay. Bruce Arians is gone.
The retirement year.
Huh?
This is the retirement year, especially after the news of
everything
the
going on. And I mean, he's bought in, but is this where the off the field issues start to creep in at 45? And
yeah, we've never heard nothing. We had never heard any problems with Brady maybe, yes, issues. Should he? The wife is tripping at the house. Now it's like wife is tripping at the house, and we've heard about it. So this is it right here.
Yeah, this is definitely the retirement year. I mean, I can't imagine playing anymore if he makes it through the year. Like I said last year, when there was all the talks of retirement, I'll believe it when I see it. He's back taking the first snap. If he takes the first snap, he's in, just like I said.
Yeah.
But I would take the under 11.5 here. And once we close out the pod, you'll find out why I'm taking the under 11.5 because of my picks. But New Orleans, I would go with the over on the 8.5 there as well. I think with a fully healthy Jameis and their defense, you remember last year, their defense was only New Orleans defense was like 8th, I believe. I just had it.
And that's going to be the thing. And I mark it down while you're looking up for the real number. Mark it up right now. If 7. Tom Brady might, if he can duck retirement and stay healthy this year, I'm telling you, Cameron Hayward is going to haunt this dude. Cameron Hayward might put Tom Brady on retirement this year.
Right. Yeah. New Orleans ended up being the 7th ranked total defense, and they were 4th in points allowed last year at 19.7.
Ballers. So for fantasy. So
yeah. So I mean, their defense is there still. They didn't lose anybody from their defense. It's a big loss. So we'll see. But I agree with the Tampa Bay. I think this is definitely a down year for them. Did you have a forced over or forced under for the NFC South?
I do, man. Lock it in. This is probably my best bet out of all of my forces. It's the Saints, man. It's a light number, 8.5. They've got, because of their strength of schedule, it might be tough. I know they got a 9 in them easy. You can get that if you want the 9 or over 8.5. You can get that at -110. And then my force under is the -125 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because we in agreement with that, man. Yeah. This is just going to be a down year. I just didn't think I thought he was going to get forced into a down year because they was going to play him out of it. He was going to look old this year. But now with all this other stuff, I think he can get through the year upright and he just walk off. And maybe halfway through the year, he might pull one of those, this is my last year and I'm playing this out like Big Ben did last year.
Right. Yeah, I 100% agree with you there on that one. Let me see. Rolling, let's go. This one might take a while because I know how homie's going to get on the NFC West. Can't fault him for his 2021 championship year that we spent down at the Homie Day household. Watching the Super Bowl.
Rams house. Who's house? Hey, welcome to your Super Bowl champion division, the home of your NFC West, the home of your Super Bowl champions, the LA Rams, man, and the hometown Seattle Seahawks. A lot of news, drama, talk, stuff to be had. We know what happened last year. It ended up, man, with a nail biter, bro. Nail biter to the end. Stix just talked about it. It was here. It happened at the house. I was there, okay? I couldn't believe I was there because what I was seeing, we pulled it out, skin of our teeth. Shout out to Cooper Kupp. Shout out to Odell Beckham and his leg. Okay. Shout out to Von Miller. Shout out to Aaron Donald. Okay. Put the ring on. Okay. Everybody who's here, everybody who's gone, because there's some people gone. That's the problem. Okay. I have some serious concerns with that, but let's tell them what happened last year. What did we think? Was we even close to being right?
Oh, you were definitely close. You were definitely right on the money, homie. To be clear, last year's NFC West, we had the Rams was over 10.5. They finished at 12. Homie took the over. Arizona's was 8.5. They finished at 11. We both took the over. San Francisco was 10.5. We both finished at 10. We both took the under.
Damn right.
And Seattle was over under 10. and they finished at 7. And yours truly, myself, Stix, took the over. That was a total fan place. And homie took the under and hit all 4 for 4 on the NFC West, homie. That's how you do it.
The 4 horsemen, Chico.
4 horsemen, you knocked it out. That's for sure.
But yeah, we know what happened with with the Super Bowl, and we know what happened with the Seahawks. It's been documented. We said there's major departures happening up here in the Pacific Northwest, and some pieces still landing in the division. We're gonna talk about that. But like I said, we got a lot of people leaving with the on the high of the Super Bowl. You got my boy Andrew Whitworth shakes up the O-line and retires as he should. Austin Corbett, we just talked about him a second ago in the previous division in the South, being picked up, going to get his money, leaving the Rams. Now that he's supposedly famous, he's a Super Bowl champion. Okay, so we lost a bunch of guys on the D. We talked about Von Miller. We talked about Troy Reeder. Damn it, Johnny Hecker is gone. Okay,
they got rid of Johnny.
The punk guy, man. He plays for Carolina, man. It's all bad, man. So we lost some guys on the defense, but in comes the savior, the leader supremo, Bobby Wagner.
What
the day? What do you know about that,
bro?
How do you feel about that?
That is wild. Of all the teams he could have went to, he ends up going there. And I mean, you replace
insider trading.
You replace Von Miller with Bobby Wagner. You don't lose a step, man. You might even get a little bit better, in my opinion, at linebacker with the Rams.
Yes,
with all that, and it's like isn't it like a 5-year deal still?
Yeah, it is 4. I think it's 4. It's 4.
Yeah. And the Rams aren't messing around. They're bringing it back. They just extended McVay through the 26th season, I think. And
see, we never know about that. Like I said,
yeah,
there was a report that he said that he just doesn't love it like a coach is really supposed to love coaching, because he's scared of because he's scared of falling in love with it like that. He knows what it takes.
Yeah. So I mean, with the additions of Bobby Wagner, and Allen Robinson, I don't know if you hit on that one too. We'll see how that works out. Like you mentioned with the NFC North, everyone getting out of Chicago. This is one of those guys that got out of Chicago.
Yep.
And found a home. And as I think we talked about a little bit yesterday in the AFC part, was you still have that locker ready for OBJ if that comes down to it. So Rams are gonna be scary, man.
If Odell isn't able to, convince him to come up there and think that he can chase down one with Buffalo, because that's one of the guys who helped get that thing going for the Rams. So it was Odell chatting it up with Von last year. So we'll see if that same thing doesn't happen there. But yeah, the offense is going to still be pretty consistent, I think, because we're adding in Allen Robinson, like you talked about, and hoping that he can be a bigger piece than Van Jay, and hopefully give us closer to what OBJ was giving us to go along with Cooper Kupp. And then, like I talked about, y'all gonna hear this name. This name is gonna be famous. Tutu Atwell is gonna become somebody. He's gonna be your Jalen Waddle. He's gonna be your Wes Welker. He's gonna be your third Renfro. He's gonna be your Tyreek Hill cat. It's coming. Okay.
So it's not a Shkaraniak or whatever his name is.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's gonna still be there. He gonna make he made the team, but he don't have no business being out there. He didn't have no business being out there,
especially when we're trying to win a ticket
in a Super Bowl. Come on, what are we doing? What are we doing?
On a what was that? The touchdown play or a prop play, and they're throwing the ball to Sharaniak or whatever his name was.
And this is one of my targets.
Yeah, and one more thing too on your Rams is you can't forget about the fact that Cam Akers is back and healthy. Missed most of the year last year.
Yeah.
Go Noles. But that's going to be a solid, and as you referenced to, homie, the best, and you talk about your team the best. Your Rams is they might have that 3-headed monster back like they had a couple years ago, where you could roll Akers, you could roll the bowling ball, Malcolm Brown. You can roll Darnell Henderson at the same time. So
yeah,
you never know who the hell is going to get the ball for fantasy purposes or play purposes.
Don't play a Rams running back.
Too late.
I'm telling you right now, don't
Too
play
late.
a Rams running back.
I'm playing Akers tonight. I'll tell you that.
Okay. Well, hey, hopefully don't treat it like the Patriots, bro. But it's going to be interesting to see how that goes because, like I said, most of the concern that I have this year is now that I've seen what the offense is capable of, even though it still stumbles because McVay, I question his play calling as much as I appreciate what he does for everything. His play calling, we pointed out some times last year where he just looked suspect and he was making bad decisions. But the defense is going to be a problem because that used to be what we was known for bringing. And hopefully adding the big name of Bobby Wagner as a linebacker who can help the secondary a little bit more instead of focusing on rushing because Ashawn Robinson's still there with Aaron Donald. We're good. Okay, we just don't have the Joseph Day anymore because him and Troy Reader went across the hallway and got the other locker room and for the Chargers. So yeah, exactly. So that's what we're working with. So we're going to have to see Aaron Donald and Ashawn will still get that push. It's just who's going to be rushing the quarterback. Leonard Floyd's still there, so he can rush freely, but he's not Von Miller. Okay. Bobby Wagner's going to be there to make sure nobody's slipping with the run game and none of these little tight ends are getting out the back slick. That's what I'm going to like because that's what's going to help us shut down these bum-ass 49ers.
Well, let's talk a little bit. You were talking about Bobby Wagner. So let's talk a little key losses from the Seahawks. What do we have? Obviously, Chris Carson retires. KJ Wright retires. He wasn't on the team, but he was back with the team. You know, we know how that goes.
Yeah.
You obviously lost Bobby Wagner. You lose Russell Wilson. You lose DJ Reed.
They lost Russell Wilson, not on the Seahawks this year.
Nope, no Russell Wilson.
What about Carlos Dunlap? He's still there?
And Carlos Dunlap has left as well. So,
oh my God, this is going to be a bad year. Where was I?
Just looking.
When did all of this happen?
I think that I was just looking. I think their defensive line, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I think their defensive line is actually going to be okay. They got Puna, freaking, damn it, I can't remember off the top of my
Kobe
head.
Bryant.
Too many drugs. Not on the defensive line, they don't.
They're gonna need Kobe Bryant everywhere.
So they're going a little bit in the downward spiral. Let's see. You had all these opportunities to get a quarterback, and you end up with Geno Smith and Drew Lock as your quarterback. Right. I was kind of hoping that they'd give Drew Lock the nod.
All right,
and see what happens.
You ready? You want me to drop the bombshell on you right now?
Yeah, what you got?
Let me put everybody in the NFC, or I'm sorry, the NFC West on notice. Okay, the Seahawks are smart. I've come to realize they're not stupid. Okay. The fans are a little wishy-washy, though, as we've come to know and acknowledge and love sometimes. But you have to understand, it works for others. It can work for you. It is time to turn it on. It is time to turn on Tank for Bryce. Stop playing. Don't even think about winning this year. Bryce Young, he is a Heisman winner, and he just lit the hell up out of somebody. Do you want Bryce Young, QB1, Seattle Seahawks? Your ass better not win shit. That is why I put the pieces together. Homie investigative group has pieced together why there was no quarterback signed, why Geno Smith is trotting out in 2022. QB1 on a Monday Night Football game, nationally televised for your Seattle Seahawks. It is Bryce Young time. The decision has been made. It is going down. Tyler Lockett is going to stick around for another year after Bryce Young shows up. DK Metcalf, he's going to love this one, boy. Mark it up. The anonymous prognosticating homie has put it on the map. Tank for Bryce. Hashtag Tank for Bryce.
Yeah, they're going to have to get that number top 3 seed, because if Atlanta gets a quarterback pick, they're going to go
literally stop playing
with Young. So you got
stop playing.
You got Young and Stroud. So they're gonna get stuck with one of those two if they get in the top 4, because the other two teams whoever they projected, probably gonna take some defensive guys on that end.
Seahawks got a strength of schedule too, man.
Yeah, what was their strength? Did you say it was 11 or something?
11. So remember that. So I mean, Rams number 1 strength of schedule, because the other strength of schedule balances out with this division. Rams number 1 hardest. Arizona number 2. 49ers number 5.
Jeez.
So
and that's playing the NFC South and the AFC West. Oh yeah, duh.
Yes, sir. Murderers row.
Yeah.
So therefore, that's how you
beat
can
up
get
on each other.
games like week 1, okay, against Russell Wilson, revenge, sue for damages. He's coming for it. So that's where we could get that. So what we're looking at with, you said a lot of stuff didn't happen with 49ers. This division kind of stays pat, right? Nobody likes the 49ers, but this division stays pat. They're a system team. And when you have a system team, only thing that you're looking for is hopefully they just perform the system. It doesn't really matter the names. That's why you find out Deebo Samuel ends up being somebody. You find Brandon Ayuk might be a breakout star this year. You find out people become famous, and all the running backs that they've got money, Mostert's getting money in Miami because, he played in that system. So that's what's going on with those guys. They didn't add much. They didn't take away much to talk about. It's just a system. So what we're looking at for those guys is, the biggest question is Trey Lance, QB1. I mean, is that real?
We'll see. I mean, we talked about this, I think, a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? About how, Jimmy Garoppolo's sitting, not even practicing with the team. And then now after the trade deadline, he's still there, rebuild his career or rebuild his contract, comes back in. Something? Now he's practicing with the team. And
what they see,
what did they see? But, and again, like, you already put all your eggs in the basket with Trey Lance. So
in the basket,
you're going to roll with them, and they must think they're good enough for what he has to make it happen and go forward with him and see. I mean, how long's the leash? We talked about a leash with somebody yesterday. Brandon Tannehill, right?
Yeah.
Was it Tannehill?
Yeah.
We're talking about with him. So we'll see, how long they go for with Lance. But I mean, I think at this point, Kyle Shanahan's locked in and said, this is our guy. So we're rolling with him, barring injury. Jimmy Garoppolo is just going to sit there for the whole year, and they're going to ride it out and think they're going to be good enough to sneak in somehow. But
I think that's a proper move for them to not let that happen, let the value build up, because if you keep them and pay them what you're going to pay them anyway, it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It's probably better than getting rid of them for something that you don't want right now, just because that's the thing to do, because it's the inevitable. Go ahead and do it right now. Let the value build. Maybe mid-season something happens, and then all of a sudden that's the time for you to capitalize. So that's the 49ers. I mean, they just are what they are. That's the biggest concern, is the Trey Lance experience and that thing being handed over to him. Whew, let's talk about these Redbirds, man.
And you are not a fan of these Redbirds, are you? You are not a fan.
I enjoy the Redbirds, man. The quarterback is just not. He's just not going to be the guy that you
sign the big deal.
He's just not going to be the guy that you expect him to be. The Cardinals are being given a soft 8.5 with the number 2 hardest strength of schedule.
After coming off an 11-win season, too.
Yes. And losing DeAndre six games, you got, or is it 6 game or 10? No, he's a 6. It's Watson that has the 10-game suspension. So he's got a 6-game PED suspension to start the season off with. That they're going to be without him in that front half of the season, which means what they end up looking like is they have some games in where that end up being light for these dudes. So from week 4 through week 9, 5 of Arizona's 6 games are all against teams that didn't make the playoffs. So they get handed a softball in the middle of it for where they could make a nice run, but it's surrounded by some spots where they can get hammered because of the schedule makeup. And that just is what it is. And I just don't think I mean, what are we talking about? For what did they add to the plate that would make us? You got Connor. That's the guy who you're running out there. You lose Chase Edmonds. You don't have D Hop for 6 games, and then Christian Kirk's gone because he chased the money. And you bring in Hollywood Brown. That's your offense now, Hollywood Brown.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
And the young kid from last year who was supposed to be the young shaky kid, Rondell
Moore. What?
Rondell Moore. I was gonna say Rondell Smith. But yeah, so that's what they've got to work with. I have zero faith in that. So therefore, the anonymous big homie is would take I would lean under with the 8.5 for those guys, and I think that they can get a solid 8. My concern is that there's a 9 that they could get, and they could be over 500. They are not a playoff team this year.
They were top 8 defense last year total, but still like top 15 in points given up. So
right, and that's after losing Chandler Jones. And that's part of their.
I think JJ was hurt a little bit.
Yeah, of course, he's always hurt. So I just don't have any.
They have to bounce back a little bit. Did you say hard under in that?
Hard. Ease. Number 2 hardest strength of schedule going up, and you have to play games against Kansas City, a young hot Chargers team, a Vegas team who seems like they just got instant chemistry, and a Broncos team led by Russell Wilson, who is very familiar with every single joker in this division. I'm trying to tell you, it's going to be hard on the yard. Now, having that NFC South and having an Atlanta on the schedule and maybe a Carolina, but you don't know what you're going to be running. You might run into a Carolina damn buzzsaw.
TBD.
Okay? You know what I'm saying? So for looking at that, man, like I said, that leads to the things with what biggest thing that I have is unfortunate Kenny Walker and his hernia situation, but he'll probably be all right. I had a hernia surgery, so he ain't gonna miss the whole season for that. And it looks like the Seahawks are up to the same shenanigans. They look like they want to do run and do run.
With Rashard Penny, if he could stay healthy, that'll be nice. But I do like Kenneth Walker a lot. Hopefully the offensive line, the Charles Cross that they just got in the draft, and then the other dude, I can't remember the other dude's name either. I
guarantee you he get more time on the field than the Rams first pick at O-line, who was out for the year.
The draft pick. But so we'll see how the offensive line holds up. But we think we talk about this every year. It's just Pete wants to run, just like you said.
I think now it's a good thing right now, because I think right now if you get the offensive line in a mode, like I said, after the Russell Wilson situation happened and we did the therapy show, was you have to invest mentally into the fact that your team should build foundationally from the inside out. Let's just get Chris Cross, or whatever his name is, Charles Cross, get him some reps and get him comfortable and build a 5-person O-line that you can be proud of. Build a 4-man front defense that y'all could be proud of, and just go fight hard. Learn who you are. Learn who's going to be on this team moving forward when Bryce Young get here. When we put him on the map, because Bryce Young's a West Coast kid. He's from California. He went to Mater Dei. So, hey, I'm trying to tell you, man, that could happen. That could happen. So just play the games and don't worry about it and toss up these games. Toss up these games. You know what I'm saying? Just
if you're not better than the other team, it's okay.
Hey, look, they're getting a 5.5. Do you anyway? I know you probably talking about running to the table with a.
No, I'm still sitting that one out.
No. So you think it's under? You think they got a good 5 in them?
I have no idea what the hell they got. I don't even know what Seattle's got in them. You never know.
That's another one of my best bets, man. I think the Seattle's a solid five win team. I think 5 wins. If they need to at the end to compete with Atlanta and Houston to try to get that number 1 pick, they'll make it happen because it's more vital for Atlanta. Might want it. Okay, Atlanta might want Bryce Young. Houston, I think, they probably would want it, but if Davis Mills still seems serviceable, he got 2 more years on a rookie contract. So that's my other best bet. You can get the Seahawks at plus money too, plus 110 if you'd like, under 5.5. If you have the cojones to run to the counter with under 5.5 money, plus 110 is what that'll get for you. But the Rams, like I said, the Rams are, given a 10.5. They threw up a 13 last year, which, it was a tight 13 because there was a lot of close calls in there. A lot of frustration for me because I wasn't liking what I was seeing. But at the same time, there was a lot of patience because the process is what we're looking for. And we want the end result to be what we got. And that's rings and trophies. So it ended up turning out they get a 10.5 again this year. I don't see anything. I think that because of the chemistry with the defense, I think that they are -1 game. I think I give them a 12, even though they have the hardest schedule. I think that they're going to drop a couple games by teams that they should lose to. Tough competition because the Rams play every team who finished number 1 in their division this year, except for Pittsburgh. Or I'm sorry, not Pittsburgh. Every team that finished number 1 this year. I'm sorry, I was thinking of playoffs. So they have to play every division winner. So they're going to lose some games to some people and then running up against some of these youngsters. Again, the rematch with the Bengals, the Chargers on the come up. Like I said, Russell Wilson's familiar with everybody.
West, yeah,
Russell Wilson's familiar with everybody. So it's going to be real tight. And just this year, I am not going to be concerned with the offense because I've seen it now. I know what it's capable of. I'm not concerned with Matt Stafford or his arm. I am concerned with our defense and the chemistry there because now where Jalen Ramsey used to, take plays off and chill, I don't think he has the leeway to do so because don't let none of this Super Bowl hangover shit get to you, bro. Get out there, get with Bobby Wagner, who's still hungry, and get out there and figure out how to get this thing done, man. Bobby Wagner is sandwiched in between Aaron Donald and my man Jalen Ramsey trying to get this ring in this sandwich, okay, on that second line for linebacker. So let's get it done, man. I got an over in that. My locks, because the Rams are better money, I would take the over 10.5. My other one was 49ers because they're only a 9.5. I think the 49ers are a 10-win team, but they would be at -150. The Rams are only -115 for over 10.5. My diehard under, like I said, Seahawks, plus 110 as my second best bet of my forced over unders.
It's hard for me to pick I'm all in on your Rams over 10.5. I think that's easy money right there.
That's why it's forced.
There's nothing wrong with that one. The only other it's hard for me to decide on the other one. I'm going with the under on the San Francisco 9.5. I think that I don't know unless Trey Lance is
that's smart. That's smart though.
Is the real one and he comes out on fire, then that could be a complete opposite. But I'm definitely just going to take my chances on the rookie quarterback.
Because how many games did they win?
Shanahan.
How many games did they win last year? You said
what
were
is it?
10-win team last year.
10. Yeah, you're right. 10.
So they're a 10-win team last year. So if you're taking the under, that's you're okay. Yeah. So you're saying he's 2 games worse than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Than Jimmy G.
I mean, we don't. There's so many questions we don't know. That very well could be. That we could look back at the highlights from preseason before last year and say, look it. But guess who else who had preseason highlights from last year? Justin Fields. What happened to him?
Yeah, true. Real quick, before we get into our picks for the division to close it out. I wanted to let's see what were the so you referenced a little bit about the London games. So there's London, Germany, and Mexico.
Yep.
So week 4 we have New Orleans, Minnesota in London.
Mm-hmm.
Week 5 you have Giants, Green Bay in London.
Mm-hmm.
Week 8 you have Jacksonville, Denver in London.
Yeah.
And where's
Germany? Seattle at Tampa Bay. Well, Tampa
there
Bay
it is.
The home team.
Yep. Tampa Bay, Seattle, and Germany. And then who's in Mexico? I found it.
Frisco and Arizona.
What week
Estadio Azteca.
Yeah, go figure, huh? What week is that? I can't see it on my schedule here, but interesting. So
yeah. And then like we said, we got that. Multiple more international games factored into the schedule. We talked about NFL coming for your Christmas Day and your Christmas Eve. You know what I'm saying? NFL ain't playing because Christmas is on a Sunday this year. So
yep.
That's why they're coming for your Christmas Eve, because they normally float on a Sunday anyway, and the NFL would normally be the NBA is normally there, so they're just doing what they normally do, except for that just allows for them to take over Christmas Eve too, and do that thing. Thanksgiving games, like I talked about earlier. I talked about the Christmas time, and Christmas time in Miami is going to be great. That's Green Bay at Miami. Yeah. But Thanksgiving this year is Buffalo at Detroit. Detroit is they're a fixture right there. You cannot move that. You cannot move the 1:00 game. Giants at Dallas. That's always going to be at Dallas. And the third game, which is always the toss-up. And now when we get to see Bill Belichick take the Patriots to Minnesota for the Vikings in prime time. So yeah, that'll be a cool little Thanksgiving. And then you got they start to the shenanigans work out with the flexing at the end of the year, and that kind of thing, which they got some stuff going on with that. But hey man, what do you think is gonna happen this damn season?
Well, you're gonna laugh. I have some comic relief for you here when I get to the division picks. But last year, division picks and wild card picks from Stix and Announce Big Homie. Last year, the AFC, my picks were Buffalo, Cleveland, Tennessee, Kansas City, Miami, Cincinnati, and Indy. 4 of 7. So obviously Buffalo, Tennessee, Kansas City, and Cincy all hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Homie's AFC picks were Buffalo, Cleveland, Tennessee, Kansas City, Miami, Baltimore, and Denver. Homie hit 3 of 7, Buffalo, Tennessee, and Kansas City. The NFC, we had, Washington football team, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Rams, Arizona, and New Orleans. You could guess that was my picks because I had Seattle in there. Obviously hit 4 of 7, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Rams, and Arizona. And the honest big homie was on fire in the NFC, just like his picks of the over-unders. he had Washington football team, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Rams, San Francisco, Dallas, and New Orleans.
Yep.
And hit 5 of 7. Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Rams, San Francisco, Dallas. All right, homie. Here's your relief for the day. You're going to love every minute of this. I already know. All righty.
I'm knocking shit over in anticipation. Go ahead.
For my AFC, I have East, Buffalo, North, Baltimore, South, Indy, West, the other LA team, Chargers. And for the wild card, I have Cincy, Miami, and the Raiders for my AFC picks. Buffalo, Baltimore, Indy, LAC, and then Cincy, Miami, and the Raiders.
Man. I'm intrigued by the Chargers, man. I just, after what I saw last year and then them getting bumped up to a top 10 schedule, cause for concern. But I mean, it's cause for concern for everybody, man. I have to stick to the script with AFC West, man. And the only way you can beat them is to bury them. Like I told you last year, you got to bury the Chiefs, man. Look at everything that Josh Allen tried to do. Look at everything that Gabe Davis tried to do to bury the Chiefs in overtime, regular time, damn it, out in the parking lot, on the bus with steel chairs in a ladder match. They still couldn't bury, in a damn casket match, they couldn't bury the Chiefs last year. So there's still the Chiefs in the West, okay? I'll even give you the order of the West because I think that this is controversial. Here is the West. The West: Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders, LA Chargers, Denver Broncos.
Ooh.
And guess what? There is a very good chance that I have it to script there. It could play out to where every single team could be a double-digit winner at 10 wins. It could happen. Mark it down, okay? So that's the reason why I give you all of those. But also, too, Buffalo, I'll stick to script with that. Indianapolis, Big Blue, Horseshoe, back for the division there. Tennessee's taking a step back. I think Cincinnati has enough to win the division. Baltimore will not make the playoffs. You hear me?
Yep.
One more time. Baltimore will not make the playoffs. Why will they not make the playoffs? One, they'll be held off by Cincinnati. But secondly, 2 great seasons from Vegas and Miami. Wild card and squeaking in by the skin of their teeth, only because they have a soft strength of schedule. Tennessee Titans will get in with Malik Willis as the quarterback.
Oh, I like it.
At the end of the year, because
I think that's the only way they get in is if they end up with him at the quarterback position.
The AFC champion or whoever makes it is going to be beat the hell up. The AFC is going to beat each other up this year, and there's not going to be any runaway winners in this division at all. I don't care what anybody's saying with people taking Buffalo over 11.5. They done lost their damn mind. Take it right now from the anonymous prognostication.
What did I say? Is the nope. I did Buffalo under. Good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we agreed on a lot of that, except for Tennessee and LAC and Baltimore. Yeah. But I think you're 100% right. I think Malik Willis is going to be the guy if Tennessee, if Henry's healthy and makes it through, and then Tennessee's going to have a quarterback to get any farther than they did in the playoffs. So
rebirth of Aaron McNair.
Why don't you throw out your NFC picks, homie, and then I'll close it out with my nonsense that you're not going to like to hear with the NFC picks.
Wow.
NFC was tough for me. I NFC was tough.
NFC is going to be a battle this year. No doubt about it. It's 1,000%. There is just so many good teams in this side of the bracket that it's just going to be a lot of parity, I think. So for that reason, you're going to see some new faces out here in these streets. Some new faces going to break through. I think that the West is still going to be controlled by the Rams. Then we'll go to the East because of what I talked about earlier, and Philadelphia being a double-digit winning team. I think that they will win the division based on a tie with the Cowboys. They will win the division. The South will be won by Tampa Bay, believe it or not, even after all of that stepping back I talked about. They are not going to step back far enough to be overtaken by New Orleans. The North will be handled like I talked about. The step back of Green Bay, the takeover of Cousin Kirk and Kevin McConnell, and the magic of the Minnesota Twin City Homer Dome is going down. That's your division winner. Your wild cards are your New Orleans Saints, previously mentioned. That's going to be your good 5 seed right there. Your number 6 seed is going to be your 49ers. And then your 7 is going to be your Dallas Cowboys, and they are going to squeak in again for reason being because light strength of schedule.
Breaking it down by strength of schedule, I probably should have took a little bit of advice from you there, homie, but I didn't on the strength of schedule aspect of it, because evidently in my head, all these guys are going to win 15 games and everybody's going to make the playoffs. And they're playing each other.
Stand-up comedy. Let's go.
Let's see what happens. In the East, I agree with you. I have Philly as well. I stuck to good old Aaron Rodgers in the North with Green Bay. South, I went with my boy Jameis. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. He stays healthy. It's going to be a good year for them, and the West is owned by your Rams, like 100%. Not a scare in the world there. That's their division to get, defending Super Bowl champions ain't going to give it up that easy. And the wild card teams were hard for me to decide on. So this, I didn't like any of the teams left after I picked the division winners.
If you got Arizona in there, I'll take my headphones off right now.
Well, it's funny. I do have Arizona.
Oh my God, I'm up out of here, bro.
Detroit.
I'll take that before.
One. You're gonna love this one. The Carolina Panthers. So
I like all of this dumb shit you just said right there. I just realized I like all of that shit you just said. Because it's
3 wild card teams.
What?
All 3 wild card teams. Arizona, Detroit, and Carolina, baby. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong right there. Take it to the counter, print it up, get a ticket. That is the picks. I'm sure you'll have more to expand on
Matt Rule
on the next episode of Sports Picks with Stix and Anonymous Big Homie, baby.
CMC leads the league in yards, rushing and receiving.
Who, right? James?
No, CMC.
Oh, CMC. Yeah, that's without CMC in the mix, by the way. That's all.
Because we know he's gonna be hurt.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay,
that's all Chuba Hubbard, baby.
Okay. Yeah, for Chuba Hubbard 2K.
Chuba Hubbard 2K, the new invention of the CMC. Yeah. So hey, man, I think we kept these people on here long enough for this one. But hey, good, NFC West preview or NFC preview for everybody.
Crisp.
Remember to subscribe, rate, and review your favorite podcast platform. Go to thisisfunner.com for more podcasts and online content. Grab some merch while you're there from the Funner family. Follow us on Twitter. Follow me at Stix015. Follow this guy, Anonymous Big Homie, homie_anonymous. Check out the YouTube channel. the audio version of Cindy, Dean, and Billy Hoyle.
That's who he is.
And subscribe and smash that like button. Use that hashtag Stix and Sports on Twitter, baby. What you got for the people, homie?
Man, we got work to do, man. We're not even done. I don't even know what day this is because I'm not even going to say what day it is because stuff is just coming out, okay? Listen up, tune in, never tuning out. This is funner.
That was Sports Fix with Stix. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show. If you want to join the show, use the hashtag Stix and Sports.
Winners don't make excuses.